different. Also enjoying the pure vegetarian organic sattvic foods.
This fascial yoga makes my body more flexible, and Swamiji is teaching me what is intensity, what is integrity, and what is discipline.
Before coming, I twisted my left wrist during basketball game, and I barely can use my left hand. After few training, my hand can sustain my body weight, and now everything looks normal for my left hand.
Starting early in the morning with some yoga to move the body, then puja to move the spirit, then these talks that really dive into my subconscious mind to really get into these root patterns of my life and to really release that emotional charge once and for all from my being. In day 28, I am complete.
I think the biggest breakthroughs for me were like completion with my social circle, like my parents and relationships. So I really felt deep healing experiences. Also, I kind of manifested different powers. For example, I could do remote vision. Another thing that I manifested was body scanning. I would say the last thing that really touched me was how everything is so kind of personal. The whole experience, like people really attend to you, they care about you. You're not just a number in a program, but you're treated like a real being. So I really appreciate that.
Everybody has a wonderful breakthroughs and experiences.
Life-changing process once you have joined.
I would recommend this to anyone who wants to make a big shift in his life, a big change. Not even just like growth, but for personal transformation and breakthroughs, because this program just brings you to the next level.
If anybody is just tired of being tired and wants to do something new in his life, I encourage you to come and try PSS. Make it happen for your life. You're not gonna regret it. You're gonna love it, and you're gonna do it for yourself.
Established since 2002 in the United States of America, the United Ancient Nations is an intergovernmental organization currently made up of 160+ members and indigenous nations. The UAN and its work are guided by the purposes and principles contained in its founding charter. The UAN is a manifestation of the profound connection amongst indigenous peoples across the world, including African, Andean, American, European, Caribbean, Oceanic, and Asian regions, rooted in shared wisdom, sustainable practices, and deep reverence for the earth. The United Ancient Nations serves as an international cultural and diplomatic organization focused on uniting indigenous cultures globally. Our governance structure is council-based without territorial claims, led by a collective leadership through our General Secretariat. As a non-state entity with UN-style advocacy, we focus on several key areas: cultural and digital heritage preservation, indigenous diplomacy, revival of indigenous knowledge systems to solve humanity's problems, global peace, environmental preservation, health and wellness, sustained economic development, indigenous and cultural tourism. While the UAN represents numerous indigenous cultures, the United States of Kailasa serves as the first indigenous nation specifically for Hindus. Kailasa's mission is focused on the revival of the ancient enlightened Sanatana Hindu civilization with a formal governance structure including a head of state, ministers, and ambassadors. Under the leadership of SPH, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, Kailasa has achieved recognition as a sovereign subject of international law, possessing distinctive attributes of juridical statehood. The United States of Kailasa is the main sponsor of the proposed UAN headquarters. This initiative would bring forth an estimated $100 million in revenue for the host country through summits, conferences, tourism, and development projects. The proposed UAN headquarters would represent the world's indigenous nations and peoples through its architectural design. It would blend the best of all worlds, featuring top modern architecture, the highest green building standards, and ancient Vastu architectural principles. This headquarters would serve as a central hub for indigenous diplomacy, cultural preservation, and collaborative efforts towards sustainable development and global.
Nithyanandam, welcome to Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. Let's begin with the Sadguru Vandana. Join your hands together. Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Dilaksham ekam nityam vimalamachalam sarvadhi sakshibhutam bhavatitam trigunarahitam sadgurum tam namami. Keep your eyes closed as I chant the Shiv Mool Mantra 11 times internally. Om Ham Ham Shivaya Namaha. 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 Now let's enter into the Tattvachana. Om Atma Tattvam Sodayami Sudha. Om Vidya Tattvam Sodayami Sudha. Om Shiva Tattvam Sodayami Sudha. Om Ham Hridaya Namaha. Now clasp your hands on your right thigh and let's enter into the Sankalpa. Om Mamopata Samasta Durdashaya Dwara Bhagavad Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Adya Purvokta Evam Guna Visheshena Vasishthayam Asyam Savatidhau Punarogya Yukta Durgati Yogic Sarya Siddhyartham Paramashiva Shakti Avaskarnartham Nithyananda Yoga Abhyasam Karishe Om Apapresha. Now let's enter into today's Nithyananda Yoga with Tritiya Vinyasa Krama, first sequence. The first asana is Asana. So start seated comfortably with your legs crossed in Siddhasana and rest your elbows gently on your thighs. Interlace your fingers in front of your chest and then lean your chin softly on the top of your hands. Keep your spine long and relaxed, drawing the shoulders down away from ears. Samana Kumbhaka, Moola Bandha. Bring your gaze to the nose and visualize yourself auspiciously blessed. Your heart open and calm. Sense a gentle, radiant energy flowing to you. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Kshemam yasmin bhavededat takshemasanam uchyate. The next asana is Kubjikasana. Kubjasana. So as you're seated with legs crossed, spine tall, inhale deeply to lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, gently bend forward from your hips. Draw your chin slowly towards the navel, consciously extending your spine. Let your shoulders gently rise as you try and crack your upper spine. Separating each vertebra, curving your upper back like a humpback. So this is a dynamic movement here. So let your spine, let your shoulders gently raise as you try and crack your upper spine. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Jalandhar Bandha. Visualize a gentle unfolding and release of tension, like a hump, gracefully curving outward. Imagine spine softly rounding with controlled lengthening and relaxation. Bring your gaze to the nose as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nabho Simhanadam Kochani Esha Kubjasanam Tu. The next asana is Jaghana Charana Griva, which is once again a dynamic movement. So gently drop your chin towards the chest to begin the movement, and then smoothly roll your neck in a full circle, moving to ears, to shoulders, to back and the other side. Keep your shoulders down and neck muscles relaxed throughout to avoid the tension. So you are basically rotating your neck in circular motion. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your neck, clearing tightness and dissolving stiffness. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Anuloma Vidhanabhyam Charnanga Brahmo Bhavet Dashadha Charana Mukhya Jaghanya Prathabudahi. The next asana is Jaghana Charana Griva. Again, it's a dynamic movement. So in this, gently nod your chin down towards your chest to stretch the back of your neck. And slowly lift your chin up towards the ceiling to stretch the front part of your neck. Keep repeating, front and back, keeping your shoulders relaxed, your movement smooth for the spinal safety. Shambhavi Mudra. Inhale in Samana Kumbhaka, visualizing heat flame in your navel center. Perform Mula Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your neck. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Anuloma Vidhanabhyam Charnangam Brahmo Bhavet Dashadha Charana Mukhya Jaghanyanya Smrita Buddhi. The next asana is Jaghanya Charana Skanda. Once again, this is the dynamic movement. So now extend your arms out wide and bend the elbows and start rotating your shoulders in small circles, making small and larger rotation in each direction. So start from one direction, you can switch to other direction as well, making small and big circles. Keep your core engaged, your upper body relaxed as you move. Shambhavi Mudra. Once again, perform Samana Kumbhaka. Visualize prana flowing through your shoulders, joints, ligaments, and tendon. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Anuloma Vidhanabhyam Charnangam Brave Bhavet Dashadha Charana Mukhya Jaganyaya Smrita Buddhi. The next asana is Jaghanya Charana Mani Bandha. In this position, clench your hands into fist. So bring your hands into the fist and extend your arms out wide in front and rotate your wrist in large controlled circles. To warm up the joints, keep your elbows soft, avoid locking your elbows during the movement. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Visualize prana flowing freely through every joints, ligaments, and tendon. Engage Mula Bandha. Chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. अनुलोम विधानाभ्याम चरणांगम भ्रवे भवे दशदा चरणामुख्या धन्याय स्मृतावदहि. The next asana is Jaganya Charana Anguli Mula. So in this asana, stretch your fingers by pressing your hands with the fingertips pointing downward, then up, then away from you. So you are using your fingertips to press the other hand, other palms. So these are subtle movements. So they're very necessary for the joints to keep performing these dynamic movements, finger flexing. Avoid moving too quickly or locking your elbows. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumaka, Moola Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through every joint, ligament, and tendon. As we chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Anuloma Vidhanabhyam Charnangam Dhave Bhave Tashadha Charna Mukhya Dhanyaya Smritavadahi. The next asana is Karuna Samdhigrahana. In this position, in this asana, as you are seated, clasp your wrist with the opposite hand and gently squeeze and massage the inner joints. So this time you are clasping the wrist with the opposite hand and gently squeezing and massaging the inner joints, applying as much as pressure as you comfortably tolerate. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Engage Moola Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your wrist joints, clearing tightness and dissolving stiffness. As we chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Bahu Charana Voktam Charnagrahamaeva cha Padasya Shangrahanam Parasandhistateva cha. The next asana is Chandrasana. From the comfortable seated position with your spine tall, place one hand on the ground beside your hip. Place one hand on the ground beside your hip and reach the opposite arm up over to the side. Lengthen through your raised arm to stretch the side of your body. Ground your sitting bones evenly for stability. Perform Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Engage Moola Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through the sides of your body, clearing tightness and dissolving stiffness. Once again, perform the Moola Bandha as you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Indrayi Leshita Shrunau Tatvat Padacharnayam Kritva Tutilanyos Sansitam Chandrameva Kathir Samitaha. Now we'll be repeating Chandrasana on the other side. So this time place the other hand on the side of your hip and raise the opposite arm up and over the side. And once again, as you stretch to the side of your body, perform Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Engage Moola Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through the sides of your bones, of your body, clearing tightness and dissolving stiffness. Chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Indrayi Leshida Shunu Tatvatpadachayam Kritva Tulala Nyo Sansitam. The next asana is Jaganya Charana Anguli. Now, as you are seated, extend both of your legs in front with your spine tall and clench your toes lightly and then extend and spread them wide to activate the foot muscles. Hands aside of the hips and move your toes individually or together to increase the flexibility and strength. So yeah, this is a dynamic movement of your foot with where you're moving your toes inward, outward. So start moving your toes. Samana Kumbhaka, Shambhavi Mudra, Moola Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your every joints, ligaments, tender in your feet. Chant japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Anuloma Vidhanabhyam Charanangam Brahmo Bhave Dashada Charana Mokhya Dhanyaya Smita Buddhahi. The next asana is Dakhanya Charana Gulfa. So as you're seated with your legs extended in front of you and spine tall, lift your feet slightly off the ground. To begin, rotating your ankles in slow, controlled circles. So lift your foot off the ground and start rotating your ankles in slow, controlled circles. Make both small and large rotations in each direction to warm up the ankle joints. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, engage Moola Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your ankle joints. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Anuloma Vidhanabhyam Charanangam Brahmo Bhave Dashadha Charana Mukhya Jadanyaya Smrita Buddhahi. The next asana is Janu Samdhigrahana. In this asana, as come to the seated position with legs crossed and clasp your knees. Clasp your knees with both the hands and start squeezing and massaging the inner joints of the knees, applying as much as pressure as you can comfortably tolerate. Shambhavi Mudra, where you keep your eyes open wide and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Samana Kumbhaka, where you inhale deeply, visualizing heat, flame in your navel center. Engage Moola Bandha, where you contract the muscles of the pelvic floor, lifting upward without tension. Visualize prana flowing freely through the knees joints, clearing tightness, dissolving stiffness. Chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Bahu Charana Vokto Charana Grahameva Cha Padasa Sangrihanam Karasandhi Thevacha. The next asana is Gulfa Sandhi Grahana, which is dynamic movement of ankle joints or massaging your ankle joints. So now, from the seated position, clasp your ankles with both of your hands and start squeezing and massaging the inner joints, applying as much pressure as you can comfortably tolerate. Once again, perform Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. So from the comfortable seated position, hold on to the ankles and start squeezing, massaging as you visualize prana flowing freely through your ankle joints and chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Bahu Charana Mokto Charanangraham Cha Padas Sangраhanam Karasthitva Cha. The next asana is Pada Sandhigrahana. From the seated position, now clasp your foot with both the hands and start squeezing and massaging the inner joints, applying as much pressure as you can comfortably. So we are holding on to the foot with both the hands and squeezing and massaging them. Once again, perform Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, Moola Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your feet as you chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Charana Bahu Charana Mamokto Charana Grihamaeva Cha Padasya Sangrihanam Karasandhisteva Cha. These are subtle movements of the joints which are very important. So make sure that you're performing each and every asana joyfully and intensely. Now, let's move to the next asana, which is Balanathasana. So as you're seated, now extend both the legs in front once again and cross one foot on the top of the other, hooking the top of the foot just above the toes around the outside of the bottom foot. Then pull the hooked foot upward to engage front part of your shin. Keep your fingers interlaced between the thighs at the groin for the deep stretch. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Visualize yourself as Natha Yogi, forged through tapas, breath, and hatha yoga practice. Moola Bandha, chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Atha Balanathasanam. The next asana is Balanathasana, repeating on the other side. So switch the position of your foot, cross the other foot on the top of the other, hook the top of the foot just above the toes around the outside of the bottom foot, and pull the hooked foot upward to engage the front part of your shin. Hands are interlaced between your thighs at the groin for the deeper stretch. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Engage Moola Bandha. Once again, visualize yourself as Natha Yogi, forged through tapas, breath, hatha yoga practice. Chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Atha Balanathasanam. The next asana, as we about to enter, is Karpati Asana. In Karpati Asana, from the seated position with your legs extended out in front of you, toes pointed up, bring your hands together between the legs in near the groin region for the grounding, and keep your spine tall and core engaged. Avoid stress on your lower back. Shambhavi Mudra, Moola Bandha, Samana Kumbhaka, and visualize yourself as something shaped through repeated use rather than force. Chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atah karpita nisam. The next asana is Mridu Parivritti asana. So from the seated position where your legs are extended in front and spine tall, start rotating your feet outward and inward to engage ankle mobility. Press your back of your hands together in front of your chest with fingers pointing down and elbows raised, and rotate your hands to opposite to open the palms outward, keeping the wrist and hands in contract. Once again, press the back of your hands together in front of your chest and with fingers pointing down, and then elbow raised high, and rotate your hands to open the palms out upward, keeping the wrist and hands in contact. So this is the dynamic movement of your hands. Maintain a steady pressure by pressing the hands against each other throughout the movement as you perform the Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha, and visualize prana flowing freely through every joints, ligaments, and tendon. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, Katim Prasaryanava, Hasti Hastangulim Vrida, Bandhanam Parivartayet. The next asana is Tirasha Siddhi Pravanaha. Pravaha. So as you're seated with your legs extended, hands are resting gently on your knees. So it's a dynamic movement. So start with your hands on the knees, then we'll move with the dynamic movement where you inhale deeply and sweep your arms straight up to open up the chest and shoulders wide. Then exhale powerfully, lowering your arms to the chest height and pulling your elbows back. Inhale strongly, opening your fingers, toes, shoulders as you widen your eyes. Exhale fully, contract your body strong and release tension in the next inhalation. So continue this movement again and again. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumaka, engage Mula Bandha, visualize prana flowing freely through every joints, ligaments. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, Tirasha Suddhi Purvangam Cha, Panchendriya Dravanam, Marmasthale Niyojayet. Now you can relax as we enter into the next asana, which is Samhrita Kutalyasana. So from the seated position, with knees bent and feet flat on the ground, spine tall to support. From here, bring your hands to your sides and relax your wrist and fingers comfortably. Gently shake your hands, loosening your wrist and releasing all the tension. Keep your shoulders relaxed or engaged. Breathe steady for stability. Perform Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumaka. Engage Mula Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your wrist joints, clearing tender tightness and dissolving stiffness. Engage Mula Bandha as you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Samklishtapadāsanam dhriyaha bahubandhanam thitam tilam. Now, the next asana is Samhari Kutil asana, repeated on the other side. So as you're seated with knees bent, feet flat on the ground, lift your feet slightly off the ground and knees bent. Gently start shaking your ankle joints to release the tension and maintain steady breath. Keep performing Shambhaya Mudra, Samana Kumaka. As you perform, as you visualize yourself as prana flowing freely through your ankle joints, chant japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, Samklishtapadāsanam, Dhribahu Stilam. The next asana is Urdhva Kati Pradana. In this asana, as you're seated with legs extended in front of you, bend one knee and draw it inward towards your chest while gently pushing it beyond your armpits to open the deep hip joints. Then rotate the bent leg slowly and smoothly to loosen the hip joints, increasing the mobility. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Shambhaya Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. So once again, bend one knee, draw it inward towards your chest while gently pushing it back beyond your armpits to open the deep hip joints. Rotate the bent leg slowly and smoothly to loosen the hip joints and increase the mobility. Samana Kumbhaka, Moola Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely to your hips. Chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Sankutita Katim Vishtardhva Prayet. Now, next will be repeating Urdhva Kati Pradana Asana on the other side. So, now bend the other knee towards the armpit or beyond your armpits to have the deeper hip stretch. And rotate the bent leg slowly and smoothly to loosen the hip joints and increase the mobility. Once again, perform Shambhaya Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, Moola Bandha, chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, Sankuchita Katim, Prishadhodham Praret. The next asana is Kala Pranayasya. So come to the kneeling position. Come to the kneeling position with your knees bent, sit on the hips. Knees hip width apart for the stability. From this position, interlace your fingers and lift your arms overhead, keeping your elbows wide and active. Then lean from side to side, allowing your torso to stretch while maintaining the spine, straight spine. Incorporate gentle twisting from side to side within your range of motion, keeping the movement controlled and spinal alignment intact. Shambhaya Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, engage Moola Bandha as you visualize prana flowing freely to the sides of your body. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Sputta Sthira Mrityuta Shirashata Galmarge Prasaresa Nishepet. The next asana is Shuddha Prana Pravaha. So now come to the standing position with your feet hip width apart and spine straight for strong alignment. And then lift your arms over the head and hold on to the opposite elbows with your hands. Keep your shoulders relaxed, arms active throughout without lifting your shoulders. Sambhya Mudra, Shamana Kumbhaka, engage Mool Bandha as you visualize prana flowing freely to the sides of your body. Chant Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Vayu Suddham Praveshat Dirghabalam Dharayitva Nidhayate. The next asana is Skanda Parivritti. From the standing position with your feet hip width apart and spine tall for balance. Bend the elbows to place the fingertips firmly on your shoulders. And then slowly rotate your shoulders in both small and large circles. Moving in each direction. Keep your core engaged and upper body relaxed throughout the movement. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Chant Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. As you visualize prana flowing freely through the shoulder joints, ligaments, and tendons. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Puram Dirghana Bhitaha. Purvam na Dirgham na Bhita. Pavatam Matram Kapanam. The next asana is Jaganacharana Prishtham. So once again, from the standing position with your feet hip width apart, spine tall, place your hands on your hips or let them rest by your sides naturally for comfort. And then slowly rotate your upper body to one side, keeping your hips stable and facing forward. Engage your core and lengthen your spine to maintain the control during the twist. So rotate to one side and the other side. Fine. This is a spinal rotation, dynamic spinal rotation. Shambhavi Mudra, Moola Bandha, Samana Kumbhaka, and chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Anuloma Vidhanabhyam Charnangam Bhravai Bhavet Dashada Charna Mukhyat Jaghanyaya Smritavadahi. The next asana is Jaghanyacharana Khati. From the standing position with your feet hip width apart and spine tall for the stability, place your hands firmly on your hips to support the movement and start rotating your hips in a controlled circular motion, both in clockwise and then counterclockwise direction. So it's a hip movement in clockwise direction in both the direction. Once again, perform the Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Engage Moola Bandha. Chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Anuloma Vidhanabhyam Charnang Gambramo Bhavet Dashada Charana Mukhya Jaghanyaya Smrita Buddhahi. The next asana is Jaghanyacharana Janu. From the standing position with your knees bent a little bit and start rotating your knees side by side and feet together. Slightly bend your leg and keep your weight evenly distributed as you rotate your knees in slow controlled circular motion in both the direction. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka. Engage Mula Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your knee joints, feeling tenderness, tightness, and dissolving stiffness. Chanda Japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Anuloma Vidhanabhyam Charanangam Bhave Bhave Dashadha Charana Mukhya Jaganya Smita Badehi. The next asana is Shringari Pavasana. From the standing position with one foot on one foot, spine tall, and the opposite leg is slightly bent. Heels behind you and off the ground. Keep the balance on your standing foot while avoiding locking the knees. Bring your hands in front of your chest in Namaskara Mudra. Engage your core to steady your hip and gaze forward for the focus. Samana Kumaka, where you inhale deeply, visualizing heat flame in the navel center. Engage Mula Bandha, visualize your foundation adorned with conscious grace. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atha Shringari Bhava Asanam. The next asana is Shringari Bhavasana, repeating on the other side. So now switch the position of your legs. Hands once again in Namaskara Mudra. So stand on the opposite foot. Other leg is slightly bent with your heel on the back and slightly bent hands in Namaskara Mudra. Engage core gently to steady your hips and focus as you gaze forward. Samana Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. Visualize your foundation adorned with conscious grace. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atha Shringari Pavasanam. The next asana is Sthira Angushthasana. So from the standing position with your feet grounded beneath you, let your hands rest naturally by the side and soften your shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen through your spine and gently maintain the steady breath and calm Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumaka. Engage Mula Bandha as you visualize your big toes as two solid anchors. So stand on your big toes, lift your heels, stand on your big toes, and visualize your big toes as two solid anchors gripping the earth, making your stance unmovable. With your each inhalation, see a straight plumb line from feet to the ground, stacking you into clean alignment and steady strength. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atha Sthirangushthasanam. The next asana is Vara Padadhyanasana. From the standing position with your legs extended and feet flat on the ground for the balance, slowly raise onto your tips of your big toes to engage your calf and feet. And then start rotating your feet onto inside of your feet and then return onto your toes, repeating the controlled movement. So this is a rotation movement of your feet. Make a circular rotation clockwise, then out counterclockwise to increase the overall foot mobility and strength. Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your feet as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Kakshayo Padasish Dhare Kathaye Buddhaye. The next asana is Uttana Sarayasana. From the standing position with your feet wide apart and spine straight, make gentle fist with your hands and keep your wrist aligned and strong as you take a deep breath in, gathering inner strength. And on exhalation, strike your arms firmly against your thighs with your fist and then follow by striking the sides of your torso. So start from the torso and then to the sides of your body, and then to your arms, using the controlled force, avoiding injury. So you are using your fist to strike your thighs, then sides of your body, and then your arms. So this is a dynamic movement where you using your fist to strike the thighs, your arms, sides of the body, then your arms. Shambhavi mudra, Shambhavi samana kumaka, engage mula bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your feet, cleansing tightness and dissolveness. Chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Bahu Sadayet Uru Rakshwak Sadikam Prishtabahu Pashanebhyam Bhumo. The next asana is Punar Uttanasana. So begin standing tall with feet shoulder width apart and toes slightly turned out. Then engage your core and keep the chest lifted, and then slowly bend your knees, lowering your hips down and back into the deep squat. So your toes are tucked, you're sitting on your heels, knees off the ground. Keep your heels grounded, keep your spine long and gaze forward. And as you lower yourself, press your knees slightly outward to align your big toes. So your big toes is slightly outward and your knees are slightly outward. And then rise back again steadily by driving through your heels, engaging your glutes and thigh muscles. So this is a dynamic movement. You start from the standing position, then deep squat, and then once again raise yourself. Shambhavi mudra, samana kumaka, Moola bandha, as you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Punashaiva tu janubhyam tare hastavidharayam. Punah tashtit varita yatha shaktya sambhavishet. The next asana is Balvat Janu Nipatanaha. So from the start with standing tall with feet hip width apart, and then spine straight, and then take a deep breath in and prepare your body. Exhale forcefully as you gently drop down to your kneeling position. So you're standing from the standing position. Exhale forcefully as you gently drop to the kneeling position. Bring your hands holding the opposite elbows in front of your chest. As you gather the inner power, press that power downward through your knees into the ground. Keep your spine tall. Shambhavi mudra, samana kumbhaka. Engage Mool Bandha and chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Balvad Nipatya Balam Grihitva Nidhayate. The next asana is Udrakarsanasanam. So start seated with one knee bent. So come to the seated position and bend one knee and foot flat on the ground and knee raised. So this is position of your one leg. And then position the other leg bent outward. So bend the other leg outward, outside of your hips. Resting the foot behind you on the ground, and then place your hand on respective knees. Inhale to lengthen your spine as you exhale. And as you exhale, gently twist your upper body towards the raised knee. So this is spinal and abdominal stretch. Keep your hands steady on the knees as you guide your twist and maintain the spine tall throughout the movement. So give a nice twist to your upper body, to your spine, to your stomach. Shambhavi Mudra. Pratyahara Kumbhaka, where you inhale deeply and hold the breath while withdrawing the senses, bringing your attention inward as you hold as long as comfortable. Exhale slowly and repeat it. Engage Mulabandha and visualize the golden flame steadily burning at the navel, radiating strength and unwavering willpower. Chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Udarasana mitva Vittam durasapta Tatvarotro bhavanti eva mahaye Smram gunait yuktaha. The next asana will be repeating Uttarakarsanasana on the other side. So switch the position of your legs. The other foot is on the ground, knee raised, and the other leg is bent outward on the side of your hip, hands on the respective knees, and twist yourself towards the raised knee. Give a nice deep stretch. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Visualize a golden flame steadily burning at the navel, radiating strength and unwavering willpower. Engage Mulabandha. Chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Udrasanam iti evam kathitam dwara patada. The next asana that we'll be performing is Nagesasana. From the seated position, bend both of your knees, feet flat, knee raised, bringing the feet flat on the ground with knee close to your chest. And then take your right arm and thread it through both the legs, and then wrap the left arm around the raised knee. Then clasp your hands together around the left raised knee. Keep your chest close towards it. Maintain the tall spine. Gentle hug to deepen the embrace. Paramashiva Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Visualize the serpent force coiling calmly within you. Gaze to the nose as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Atah Nagesasanam. Now we'll be performing Nagesasana on the other side. So switch from the same seated position, switch the hand position. And once again, perform the Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mulabandha, visualize the serpent force coiling calmly within you. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, bring your gaze to the nose. Atha Nagesashanam. The next asana is Bhagna Patrasana. In this position, start with seated position with legs together and feet touching and knees bent wide apart, like in Bhadrasana. Place your hands on the respective knees for the support and inhale to lengthen your spine, and then exhale as you lean forward all the way to the ground towards your heels. Keep your sitting bones grounded and avoid forcing the stretch. Maintain the gentle connection through your hands to guide forward fold. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. Visualize your body as a vessel that has released its rigid form, old structure, soften and falls away, no longer resisting pressure. Within this alerted shape and strength, gather deliberately, settling into new pathways. As a chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Ata Bhagapatrasanam. The next asana is Virasana Chatwari or Virasana 4. So start seated with both legs extended and then place the hands on the ground behind you so it's not just side of the hips, it is just behind you, hands are behind you. And bend the opposite knee and place the outer edge of that ankle onto the thighs, just above the knee of your extended leg. And then keep your other leg extended, active, and flex the foot as you lift your chest gently. Maintain the length in your spine. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Visualize yourself as a seasoned warrior who stays relaxed under pressure. Hips steady, breathe steady, mind steady. With each inhale, feel Virya, the inner strength, rising up the spine and extend the chest as confident, not aggressive. Chanda Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Ata Virasanam. The next asana is Vamardha Padasana. So start seated with your knees bent and feet flat on the ground. So this is a starting position where you're seated with knees bent close to the chest, knee and feet on the ground. And from there, place both the hands on the ground behind you for the support. Finger angled comfortably outward. The fingers are pointing outwards. Then lift one foot. From the seated position, lift one foot and place the outside of the ankle just below the opposite knee. So as you lift one foot, place it outside of the ankle just below the opposite knee, allowing the bent leg to open gently. Keep your chest lifted as you lean slightly forward to stretch the side of your hip. Saman Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha as you chant Udipa and you chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Ata Vamapadasanam. The next asana that will be entering into is Rijanusam Yogasana. From the seated position with your spine tall, legs extended in front of you, bend one knee and bring it towards the chest. Placing the knee in front of your side of your heart. And bend the other leg, placing the ankle in front of the perineum. Then use the hand to lift and hold your foot firmly at the center of your chest. Keep your chest open and shoulder relaxed. Maintain the steady, grounded position. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Engage Mool Bandha and visualize a radiant, warm bridge of energy, connecting your heart center to your bent knee. As you chant Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ekasya Parshve Urasijano Nidhaya. Anyatra Gulfa Sthapitva Haste Dharayet. The next asana is Tusakai Asana. From the seated position with both legs extended straight out in front of you, bend one knee and bring the heel as close to the groin as possible. Knees lifted. Knees is lifted off the ground. Bring your palms together in front of your chest in Namaskara Mudra. Keep your legs, extended leg active by pressing through the heel and maintain the length of your spine. Engage core to support your posture. Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself seated as grain after husking, stripped of all but what is necessary and true. Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Sanam. The next asana is Vakrasana Dvay. From the seated position with both the legs extended in front of you and your spine tall, bend your right knee and place the sole of your right foot flat on the ground beside your left thigh. Reach your left arm across your body, spreading it between your torso and right thigh to place your hands onto the right foot. Hands on the right foot. Just place it on the right foot. Reach. Press gently onto the foot as you twist your upper body. So once again, as your right knee is bent, you are twisting your body towards your right and placing the left palm towards the right palm, right leg. So twist is a nice twisting of the upper body. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Visualize your spine as tall, flexible rope. Being rung around from center. As you chant Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramasivoham Atavakrasanam. The next asana is Viparita Ardha Matsyendrasana. So as you are seated with one leg extended and other legs crossed over, foot flat on the ground. So other leg is crossed over, the knee which is bent is crossed over the other leg. Extend the arm opposite the raised knee over and cross it. Cross it, across it, and pressing gently while reaching towards the outside chin of the extended leg. Place the other hand behind you for the balance and twist the upper body, opening the chest towards the back. So this one, okay, once again, a nice stretch of your upper body. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as Matsendra, the great yogi and lord of fishes, seated in serene mastery of inner balance. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Viparita dharmam sendrasanam padamekkamurdhva kritva uparjanuni nes parshva shiro niveshayet. The next asana is Sankahasana, Purvangam. From the seated position with one leg extended straight out in front, place the opposite foot on the upper inner thigh of the extended leg, creating a bent leg position. For example, if the right leg is extended, then wrap your right arm behind your back and reach towards the foot of the bent left leg. Extend your left hand forward to reach and hold the foot with the extended right leg. This grip increases the intensity in the twist. As you chant the japa, perform Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahar Kumka, engage Mulbandha, visualize a luminous conch shell spiraling inward at your heart. It's pearly from radiating purity and divine light. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Padam prasarya param uchitva dakshina shotra purayet. The next asana is Sankahasana, the conch position, posture. So from the seated position with one leg stretched out in front of you, place the opposite foot on upper inner thigh of extended leg, creating a bent leg position. And the leg which is bent and is on the upper inner thigh of the opposite leg. Bend this, take that hand behind you and hold on to the big toes of the bent knee. Other hand holding the extended leg. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Visualize luminous conch shell spiraling inward at your heart. So once again, if your right leg is extended, then you with your right hand hold on to the big toes, and the left leg which is bent, you are taking the left leg which is bent, taking your left hand behind and holding on to the big toes. Shambhavi Mudra, chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Bring your gaze to the third eye as you perform this asana. Padaikam prasaritva anyam konchitva dakshina hotram purayet. The next asana is Vamasiddhasana. So from the seated position, extend your right leg out. So this is specifically the right leg out, while keeping the left foot at the perineum. Keep your spine tall, chest upright. Then interlace the fingers in front of the navel center. Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Moola Bandha. Visualize prana flowing freely through your legs, clearing tightness, dissolving stiffness. As you bring your gaze to the nose and you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Vamasiddhasanam. The next asana that we are performing is Sankahasana Uttaranga. The next asana that we are performing is, so start from the seated position with your right foot placed on at the perineum. The right foot is placed at the perineum and your left leg is extended in front of you. Bring your right arm across your body to reach and hold the left foot. And at the same time, extend your left hand to hold on to the left foot as well, creating a firm grip. Open your chest sidewards towards the outer side of the straight left leg. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. Visualize a luminous conch shell filling inward at the heart. Chanda Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ubhabahu Parivirta Pashayata Vadam Prasarayet. The next asana is Dandasana Dve. So now in this asana, extend both of your legs straight in front of you with toes pointing up. Bring your hands at the belly, interlace a finger and bend the elbows. Relaxed. Hands in Parashumudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. As you visualize yourself as a strong wooden shaft, solid, durable, and unshakable, unbreakable. Chanda Japa, Om Nithyananda, Paramashivoham. Dandabash, Pashvam Cha, Sahajam, Bandhyapindam, Mayurakam. The next asana is Virasana Chatwari, repeating on the other side. So as your legs are extended, now place the other foot on the top of the opposite thigh, hands behind your sides, finger pointing outwards. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Engage Mula Bandha, visualize yourself building mastery through consistency. Inhale and feel Virya, the inner strength, raising up along the spine. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda, Paramashivoham, Atha Virasanam. The next asana is Dakshina Padasana. It's Dakshina Ardha Padasana. So from the seated position, with feet flat on the ground, knee raised, come to the seated position with feet on the ground, both the feet on the ground and knee raised. Place both the hands on the ground behind you for the support. Fingers angled comfortably outward. And then lift one foot. Actually, this is a... So place one foot and place it the outside of the ankle just below the opposite knee, allowing the bent leg to open gently. Keep your chest lifted as you lean slightly forward to stretch the side of your hips. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha as you visualize the side hip as congested pocket being cleared. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda, Paramashivoham, Atha Dakshina Ardha Padasanam. The next asana is Tejanusam Yogasana. So this is a repeated asana on the other side. So bend one knee and bring it to the chest and place the other knee. And place that knee in front of the side of your heart. Bend the other leg to the perineum. And use your hand and hold the raised foot firmly at the center of your heart. Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Bring your gaze to the nose. Visualize a radiant, warm bridge of energy connecting your heart center at your bent knee. Engage Mula Bandha as you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda, Paramashivoham. एकस्य पार्श्वे उरसि जानु निधाय अन्यत्र गुल्फ स्थापित्वा हस्ते धारयेत जानु हृदय जान संयोग हृदय जानुमोदनम. The next asana is Tuskai asana, repeating on the other side. So as you are seated with both the legs extended in front of you, bend the other knee and bring the heels as close to the groin as possible. Then place your palms in front of the heart center in Namaskar Mudra. Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Engage Moola Bandha. Visualize yourself seated as the grain after husking. Outer effort falling away to leave only that what is necessary and true. Body remains upright, balanced between activity and rest. Chanda Japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atatuskayasanam. The next asana is Vakrasana Dve. Repeating on the other side. So start seated with both legs extended in front of you. Bend your left knee and place the sole of your left foot flat on the ground beside your right thigh. Reach your right arm across your body, thread between the torso and left thigh to place your hands onto the left foot. So place your right palm to the left foot. Press gently onto the foot as you twist your upper body towards the left. Shambhi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Visualize wriggling out of the wet cloth. Stagnation and mental heaviness squeezed out, clearing left behind. Inhale and feel prana lifted up as the spine alert awareness. Exhale, let the belly ring clean of waking Agni, Jatara Agni, and grounding Apana. Adhichanda Japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atavakrasanam. The next asana is Viparita Ardha Matsendrasana. Repeating on the other side. So as you are seated with one leg extended in front of you, cross the other leg over the extended leg. Foot flat on the ground. Take the arm opposite the raised knee and extend it over and cross the pressing against the knee while keeping the arms straight. Reach towards the outside shin of the extended leg with this arm. Shambhi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Visualize yourself as Sage Matsendranatha, the great yogi, Lord of Fish. Engage Mool Bandha as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Viparita Ardhamatsendrasanam Nama Padameko Meko Modho Kritva Uparijanuni Annasya Parshve Siro Niveshayet. The next asana is Shankahasana Purvanga, repeated on the other side. So start seated with one leg extended straight out in front of you. Place the opposite foot on the upper inner thigh of the extended leg. Create a bent leg position. And if your left leg is extended, hold the big toes of the left leg with the left hand. And bring your right hand behind your back, holding onto the big toes of the right leg. Gaze towards your back to give a nice twist to your upper body. Shambhi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Engage Moola Bandha. Visualize a luminous conch shell spilling inward at your heart. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Padam prasarya param kunchitva dakshina stotram purayet. The next asana is Sankhahasana. From the seated position with one leg extended out in front of you, place the opposite foot on the upper thigh, creating a bent leg position. And for example, if the left leg is extended, extend your left arm forward to reach and hold the foot of the extended left leg, and then wrap your right arm behind your back, reaching towards the foot of the right leg. Namabe Mudra, Pratyahara Kumka, engage Mulabandha, visualize a luminous conch shell. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Padaikam prasaretva anye kunchitva dakshina stotram purayet. The next asana is Dakshina Siddhasana. From the seated position, extend your left leg out while keeping the right foot at the perineum. Keep your spine tall, chest upright, interlace the finger at the navel center. Pratyahara Kumka, engage Mulabandha, visualize prana flowing freely through your legs, cleaning tightness, dissolving stiffness. As you bring your gaze to the nose and chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atha Dakshina Siddhasanam. Now we'll be repeating Shankahasana Uttaranga on the other side. So as you are seated with your right foot placed at the perineum and left leg extended straight in front of you, bring your right arm across your body to reach and hold the left foot. At the same time, extend your left hand to hold on to the left foot as well, creating a firm grip. Open your chest sideward towards the outside of the straight leg. Shambhi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumka, engage Mulabandha, visualize a luminous conch shell trailing inward at your heart. Chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Uvabahu pare Vartaye prasarita pada prasariyet. Prasarita padu Ashve nitabandhe vritta krita shaktim pravartayet. The next asana is Panaguptasana. Start seated with feet close together in front of you, holding onto them gently with your hands. Keep your spine long as you inhale. And as you exhale, lean forward, down from your hips, allowing your chest to reach forward towards the ground. Lower your forehead towards the ground, towards your feet to deepen the stretch. Keep your legs extended and engaged, but avoid locking your knees. Sambhavi Mudra, Sahaj Kumbhaka, engage Mulabandha and visualize yourself as head of a majestic hooded serpent. As you gaze to the nose and chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Dujasanam Apyatra Kukudasanam Uttamam Panaguptasanam Chaiva Gaururasanam Evacha. The next asana is Avaghatasana. From the seated position with soles of the feet together in front of you, keep the knees bent, extended outward, and then slowly lean forward and down, bringing your forehead all the way to the ground. with heels extended further away than your head. So when you bring your forehead to the ground, it is behind your heels. Lean forward. Bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra. Sahaja Kumbhaka. Visualize yourself, your body meeting the earth with complete acceptance. See all resistance dissolve and the energy to flow outward while the spine lengthen inward. Engage Mulabandha. Gaze to the nose as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ata Avadhata Sanam. The next asana is Guni Harsha Asana. Start seated with soles of the feet together and place your hands around your feet. And lift and pull your legs up towards your head, keeping the knees bent outward. Hold the position with a gentle hug to deepen the stretch. Maintain a tall spine. So once again, bring the soles of the feet together and place your hands around the feet and then lift and pull the legs towards your head. Hands in Parashamudra. Sahaja Kumbhaka Pranayama. Engage Mulabandha and visualize yourself in the space of sheer joy. In the pleasant state, delight is not short, it is naturally unfolds, sustained by balance, integrity, and calm inner alignment. Gaze to the nose as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ata Guniharsa Shanam. The next asana that we are performing is Achaleshwarasana. Achaleshwarasana. So from the seated position with your soles of the feet together, place your hands around the feet and then lift and pull the legs towards your head, keeping the knees bent. Hold the position with gentle hug to deepen the stretch. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as unmoving center. The body gathers inward, yet nothing within you wavers. Chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atha Achaleshwara, Achaleshwara. The next asana is Chandra Garbhasana. From the seated position, hands resting beside your torso on the ground for the support, and then from this position, bend both the knees and bring your feet towards your chest. Press the soles of the feet together, allowing your knees to gently open out to the side in butterfly and or bound angle shape. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Moola Bandha. Visualize a glowing full moon cradled within the sanctuary of your inner womb state. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Pashuyor Paro Anyasya Sanay Pado Puro Niyet Nimilta Akshasa Swasa Marutam Chandra Nadi Achalayet. The next asana is Garbhasana. So from the seated position, hands bend both the knees and bring your feet towards your head. Aiming to gently press the soles of the feet together close to the forehead or at the top of the head. You're bringing your soles of the feet together and raising it towards the head or even at the top of the head. Holding with both the hands, allowing your feet to gently open out to the sides, creating a deep fold towards the upper body. Balance as you perform the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, engage Moola Bandha, and visualize yourself as luminous embryo cradled within the cosmic womb. Gaze to the nose and chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. गर्भासनं नाम पादौ शीर्षौ संस्थाप्य हस्तौ तौ युग्मे बद्ध्वा नाभि दृष्टि च धारयन् गर्भवत् तिष्ठेत्. The next asana is Ratnamasana Purvangam. From the seated position, with your legs extended, wrap both the arms around your ankles and bring your hands together around the lower leg. Stack your hands, one hand resting above the other to create a secure bind. Drive your legs upward gently towards the crown of your head, maintaining the bind with controlled tension. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaj Kumka, Moola Bandha. Visualize a radiant jewel deep within your core, flawless and luminous, radiating light in all directions. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Gulf Yug में भुजावेश्य करमुद्रा संयत्रेण. The next asana is Ratnamasana. So once again, as you're seated with soles of the feet together in coiled bind position, creating a firm connection. As you exhale, swiftly swing your heels up towards the crown of your head. Engage your core to control the movement. Engage Moola Bandha, creating a firm, energized suspension. Sahaj Kumbhaka, Shambhavi Mudra, visualize a radiant swell deep within your core, flawless and self-luminous. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Chakraganthe padatare sammaiva sanyojayet. Nishwaswahagena gulfe shirorandhre samakshipet. The next asana is Ratnamasana Uttarangam. Once again, from the seated position, with your legs extended, carefully set the back of your knees over your shoulders and bring your legs up so that your thighs rest on your shoulders. Then firmly draw your big toes towards your ears, creating a deep stretch and secure hold. So bring both the legs on the side of your ears, feet on the side of the ears, holding with both the hands. Firmly draw your big toes. Practice empty breath retention, Kumbhaka, by holding the breath out steadily for several controlled cycles. So it's a Puraka, it's a Rejka where you exhale completely and hold the breath. Continue again and again. Maintain focus on steady, calm breath. Shambhavi Mudra, Moola Bandha. Gaze to the nose as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. As let's enter in the Sasthavana. Janu Prishte Karnikone Nitva Padangushtam Dridam. The next asana is Sanandanasana. In Sanandasana, come to the seated position with soles of the feet together in front of you and bend the knees out wide onto the ground if possible. Keep your spine tall and elongated for strength. Place your hands on the respective knees. Engage your core to support your posture. Perform Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaj Kumbhaka Pranayama. Engage Moola Bandha. Visualize yourself seated in effortless, calm, hips open, resting wide on the earth. Chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atasanandasanam. The next asana is Nagarjunasana. So from the seated position with soles of the feet together in front of you and knees bent on the ground, keep your spine tall and elongated for the strength. And then cross your arms in front of you and place the hands on the opposite knees. So you're crossing the hands in front of you and placing it on the opposite knees. Engage your core gently to support the posture. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumka. Engage Mool Bandha. Be a quiet. Visualize to be in quiet clarity, grounded within, with attention turned inward. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Atha Nagarjunasanam. The next asana is Vana Khandi asana. In this asana, start seated with soles of the feet together in front of you and knees bent. Keep your spine elongated and chest upright as you bring one heel close to the perineum. So bring one heel close to the perineum and the other foot just in front of the opposite foot toes. Cross your hands and hold the opposite foot's ankle. We are holding the opposite foot's ankle. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka. Engage your core to slightly support your upright posture. Engage Mool Bandha. Visualize yourself seated within a quiet clearing of the forest. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Atha Vana Khandi asanam. The next asana is Prakrita Pavasana. In this asana, start seated with your spine tall, leg extended. Lift your left leg. Lift your left leg and hold the left ankle with your left elbow joint. Raise your right leg and place the right foot on the left upper arm. Once again, lift your left leg and hold the left ankle with your left elbow joint. And then raise the upper leg upward. And then raise your right leg and place its foot on the left upper arm. And then catch hold on to its toes with left hand. Shambhavi Mudra. Visualize aligning with your original inner state, Moola Bandha. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Atha Prakriti Pavasanam. The next asana is Vana Khandi asana, repeating on the other side. So, as you're seated with soles of the feet together in front of you, knees bent, keep your spine elongated and chest upright. As you bring one heel close to the perineum and other foot just in front of the opposite foot's toe. Cross your hands and hold on to the opposite foot's ankle. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka. Visualize your joined feet as singular root of existence from which duality emerges and separate. Gaze to the nose as you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Panakhandiyasanam. The next asana is Prakriti Pavasana, repeating on the other side. So this time, lift your right leg and hold the right ankle with your right elbow joint, raising leg upward. And then raise your left leg and place its foot on the right upper arm. Catch hold to its big toe with the right hand and place your left hand on your left neck for support. For Shumudra, Sahaj Kumka, engage Mool Bandha, visualize your lifted feet as singular point of existence. Chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Atha Parivritpavasanam. The next asana is Brahma Adivaranasana. From the seated position, bring your legs in Padmasana. Bring your legs in Padmasana. Spine tall, shoulder relaxed, and bring your hands, bind your hands in Brahma Granthi Mudra, or the knot of Brahma, by interlocking the finger from outside in and thumb together facing upward. Lower your head down gently in a controlled, mindful movement, bringing your gaze towards your heart. With this posture established, focus your attention inward and meditate on the sacred syllable Om. The Kumbhaka is Kriti Seshtra Kumbhaka. Inhale with force. Draw the breath upward from the navel and bring it to the region of the heart. Then perform Uddiyana Bandha and apply Jalandhar Bandha. So you are engaging all the three bandhas. Mahavakya Bandha. Visualize a brilliant golden light filling your inner space as you chant the japa. Om Brahmaya Namaha. Brahmana Divarnasanam Nam Padmasanso Hasto Granthi Padva. The next asana is Garvasana. So sit in a comfortable cross-leg position. Place each foot on opposite hip as in Padmasana. So once again, bring the legs in Padmasana. Rest your elbows gently on your thighs and interlace your finger in front of your chest, letting your elbows and shoulder relaxed. Hands in Parashumudra as you perform. Once again, Kriti Sheshta Kumbhaka. Inhale with force. Draw the breath upward from the navel. Bring it to the region of the heart, then perform Uddiyana Bandha. Apply Jalandhar Bandha. Perform Mahamad Bandha. Visualize a deep pride raising within you, not from ego, but from the sacred connection to Paramashiva. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Padmasanam Namasthaya Hasto Laksha Sansito Garbhavishta Iti Tishtet Garvasanam Vidam Hridahi. The next asana is Sastikasana. Sastikasana Pancha. From the legs are still in Padmasana. Place your hand beneath its respective thigh. So place your hands beneath or under your respective thighs, sliding your palms down to rest underneath. Keep your fingers relaxed, palm flat against the roof or the mat for gentle support. Maintain even steady breathing as you hold the posture in Shambhavi Mudra Perform Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself seated at the center of radiant swastika. Chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Swastikasanam Pratamam He Garbhiramasanam Visam. The next asana is Yoga Mudrasana. Start seated in Padmasana with your spine tall and shoulder relaxed. And then from Padmasana, lean your chest forward, bringing your forehead down onto the ground in front of you. Place the back of your hands onto the ground beside you with the palms facing upward. Exhale and relax deeply as you can. Nabhay Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mula Bandha. Visualize Swamiji standing before you as you bow your head down in gratitude. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Karmi Chitranamasi Yoga Mudra Vidhunanam. The next asana is Dhirasanam. From Padmasana, with your spine tall and shoulder relaxed, lean your upper body forward gently, maintaining the length of your spine. Take the left arm and reach it behind your back, holding onto the right arm while bringing the right hand across the front of the body. So your left hand goes behind and holding on to the right elbow, and the right hand is in front of your belly. As you lower your head down to the ground, aiming for the gentle, comfortable stretch. Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Jalandhar Bandha. Visualize your body dissolving into pure space, every boundary fading into vastness around you as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Dariyasanam tu Vigyena Kakshasanam Matah Param. The next asana is Kurmasana Trini. In this position, as you are still in Padmasana, lean your upper body forward, resting your elbows gently on the top of your thighs. And then cup your hands at the side of your chest, using them for leverage and support as you lean forward. Keep your spine long. Shambhya Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a large turtle resting within the still depth of the ocean as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Dandapashwam cha sahajam pandit pidamayurakam. The next asana is Dhirasana, repeating on the other side. So once again, sit in Padmasana, lean forward. This time, bring the right hand behind your back, holding onto the left elbow, and bring the left palm on your belly and lean forward. Bring your forehead out on the ground as you perform the Shambhya Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Jalandhar Bandha. Visualize your body dissolving into pure space, every boundary fading into vastness around you. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Dhirasanam tu Vigyena Kakshasanam Matah Param. Vivasanam cha Paramam. Pujasanam Mochate. The next asana is Kurmasana Chatwari. So come to the seated position with your legs in Padmasana, spine tall. Ensure your spine is tall and hips are level. From this anchored seated position, cross your hands and hold on to the opposite big toes in Prana Mudra. Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Visualize Swamiji seated upon a golden throne, radiating boundless light. Chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Padmasanam samasthana puro griham padayo dakshinaiva vama vamena panini. The next asana is Tipkarasana. So this is a split stretching. So extend your legs on the sides, spread your feet wide apart, and extend your arms straight out in front of you. Lift your chest. So let's take a moment and let's practice this asana. Spread the legs out on the sides. Shami Mudra, Rechka Kumka Pranayama. Visualize yourself as Palmyra tree, standing tall and resilient. Chanda Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Keep practicing the asana as the next sequence is also the split, so we'll be having enough time to practice. Asana ko guna sharira ko so jai. Next asana is Parasana. This time, spread your legs wide apart in front and back side. Place your palms firmly on the ground. Shambhe Mudra, Rechka Kumbhaka. Gaze to the nose as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Para asana ko ganasana ko gun chorasi vayu jai pavar saralabahe. Okay, so the next asana is Pinda Mayurasana. From the kneeling position, this is basically a Mayurasana with one leg on your shoulders. So you can start from Mayurasana and then bring the legs on the top of the shoulders. Or you can bring one leg behind on the top of the shoulder and then enter into Mayurasana. You can choose any of the sides, or if you have any different ways, you can try that as well. Both the hands on the ground, on the side of the belly, on the navel. Exhale. In Rechaka Kumbhaka Pranayama, engage Mulabandha, visualize Swamiji anchoring your consciousness, seeing this stabilizing your being as you chant the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ekam Padam Mayuragre Prasarya Ekam Mayuravat. Now, the next asana will be repeating Parasana. So we'll be coming to the Pinda Mayurasana on the other side. Let's enter first into the Parasana. So this is spread the legs wide apart in front and back. This is repeating on the other side. So place your palms on your thighs. Shambhe Mudra, Rechka Kumbhaka. Visualize yourself as triangle, stable and balanced. Nanda Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Parasana ko ganasana ko guna chora seva hi jai paramanasala bhai. The next asana is Pinda Mayurasana, repeating on the other side. So switch the position of your legs, and as you enter into Mayurasana, this time bring the other foot on the top of your shoulders and balance as you enter into. Balance your body parallel to the ground. Only palms on the ground, rest of the body is lifted off the ground in Pinda Mayurasana. Shambhavi Mudra, Rechka Kumbhaka, engage Mulabandha. Visualize yourself as Lord Veerabhadra. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ekapadam Mayuragre Prasarya Ekam Mayuravata. The next asana is Prasarit Asana. So in this asana, stretch the legs wide on the sides. Keep your chest spine upright, hands rest on the ground. Gaze to the third eye as you perform Rechaka Kumbhaka, Mulabandha. Chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Padadvayam Prasarya Atmukham Prasamitham. The next asana is similar asana with Uttana Padasana. So legs are still in the same posture, hands are in Namaskara Mudra. Reach ka kumka, engage Mool Bandha, chant japa, Om Nithyananda, Paramashivoham. Vasishtatha Kondinyam, Uttakukuta Mevacha, Ashtavakrathotanam, Mayuram Seta Bandhanam. Keep your legs in the similar posture as we enter into the next asana, which is Upavishta Konasana. So in Upavishta Konasana, lean forward down onto the ground and reach the hands on the sides as you reach the feet with both the hands while resting your chin on the ground. Gaze to the nose, Sambhi Mudra, Rejka Kumbhaka. As you perform, engage Mulbandha, gaze to the nose and chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Sapta Chakrakshanadaya Vikshashana Visheshakanjanani Indriyadharaya Konabheda Samadbhavet. The next asana is Dhanurasana, Trini. So in this asana, sit with your legs extended and bring one leg on the top of the shoulder. Keep your left leg extended and pull the right foot to the left ear. Hands holding the opposite big toes. Pratyahara Kumka, engage Mulbandha, chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Padam Dushtotat Panibhyam Rihtva Shravana Vidhi. The next asana is Virasana Chatwari. One leg is extended. Bend the left foot and place it on the right thigh. Hands gently on the lap for the support. Shami Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, engage Mulbandha and the chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Dviganam Patitam Padavam Dakshina Utthitam. The next asana is Ekapada Dve. Ekapadasana Dve. So bring your right leg behind your neck. Left leg is extended front and hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center. Mulabandha, chant japa, Om Nithyananda, Paramashivoham. As you bring your gaze to the nose and Ekapadam Utho Kante Utpatya Ekam Cha Dandavat. Now stay in the similar posture. Just bend the left leg and bring the heel close to the groin as you perform Vam Pada Sirsasana. Hands are still in Namaskar Mudra. Chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ekapadam Atho Kante Uthaya Cha Dandavat. The next asana is Ekapada Mayurasana. Ekapada Mayurasana is where in Mayurasana, bring one leg behind your head, behind your neck. So as is, you can choose any of the leg and bring one leg behind your neck and balance yourself in Mayurasana. Engage Mulbandha, visualize. Visualize yourself as peacock as you chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Haritas Sakalona Ashu Gulmodarinam. Now relax as you keep your one leg behind your neck as we perform Supta Trivikramasana. So lie down on your back with one leg behind your neck, hand holding the respective foot, other hand resting on the side of your heels, on your sides of your hip. Shambhi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, chant japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Uttana Kurma Pitam Cha Simham Gadum Evacha. Now relax comfortably in Savasana, stretched out. Vijay Swamiji is liberating you. Hands resting. Now, slowly come back to the physical body and start to wiggle fingers, feet, ankles, wrist. Lean. Bring your knees to the chest, roll from side to side, and bring yourself to the comfortable seated position. Hands in Namaskar Mudra. Let's offer our gratitude to Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, for giving this opportunity to perform the Nithyananda Yoga. As it end the session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानन्द परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु। ॐ नित्यानन्दम्। Thank you everyone for joining for the Nithyananda Yoga. Thank you.